Hi guys! Today I'll be showing you how to make this delicious stuffed seitan holiday roast with awesome mushroom gravy to go with it. It makes a great centerpiece, but you're probably going to want to make a few more dishes for your Thanksgiving feast. Thankfully, this video is part of the Epically Ethical Thanksgiving collab with 8 of my favorite vegan YouTubers, led by the wonderful Emily from Bite Size Vegan. Be sure to check out their recipes. I'll link them in the description box below and at the end of this video. So let's get started with our seitan. The dough is super easy to make. Just gather up your flavoring ingredients. I used garlic, ginger, miso, onion powder, poultry seasoning, which doesn't include poultry, just has herbs, and vinegar and a touch of sugar for balance. Check out the description box for all the amounts. Combine that with hot water in a blender and, well, blend it. Now empty that into a large mixing bowl and add your vital wheat gluten and your chickpea flour. Mix it around until it forms a dough, then go in with your hands and knead it for 1 minute, but no longer than that. Afterwards, you can leave it alone to rest while you grab your stuffing. What, you don't already have classic bread stuffing just ready and laying around? Check out this 3-minute video for the uber easy instructions. Basically, you just saute some celery and onion, add broth, and mix in some dried out bread cubes. After your dough has rested for a couple of minutes, roll it out into a flat surface. You can see that I added a little bit of chickpea flour, but that was actually totally unnecessary. The gluten dough doesn't really stick. If it does, just wet it a little. You want to gently smush it into a rectangle shape about a foot long on one side. Then add a cup of stuffing to the third closest to you, and don't add too much stuffing though. Now roll it up. Pinch the sides so they come together, but don't worry too much about it sticking together. It'll be fine once you cook it. Now this is the part where you can choose your own adventure. You can steam and bake it, or just straight bake it. To steam, wrap the loaf into a piece of wet cheesecloth. Use it to tighten up the roll a little bit and tuck the end of the cloth underneath the roll to secure. Now steam it on high for 1 hour. Don't forget to check the water level every so often to make sure your steamer doesn't run dry. Then when you have 15 minutes left on the clock, start preheating your oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Afterwards, the loaf will have puffed up a bit. Carefully remove it from the steamer and unwrap it. If the cheesecloth sticks, just wet it with some water and it should release. Leave it on a baking pan lined with parchment paper. Now we can add a glaze. Mix together some lemon juice, garlic, brown sugar, olive oil, and a little salt. Brush this all over your loaf and reserve the remaining liquid. Now we can bake it for 30 minutes. At the halfway mark, flip the seitan over and brush on the rest of the glaze and then put it back in to finish baking. And that's it. If you want a firmer loaf or just don't feel like doing the extra work, you can simply bake this. Take a large piece of foil and oil the middle part where the seitan will touch it. Then roll it up firmly and twist the ends like a Tootsie Roll. Then bake that in a preheated oven for 1 hour and 15 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. For this method, you will have to give it a quarter turn every 15 minutes or so that it cooks evenly and so it doesn't burn. While your seitan is cooking, you can make your mushroom gravy. Take a whole bunch of mushrooms of any mild variety, and 2 cups of vegetable broth, a clove of crushed garlic, some thyme, some olive oil, and some wheat flour, cornstarch, or tapioca flour. Slice or chop the mushrooms first. How big depends on your preference. Then heat a saucepan on medium to medium-high heat with oil. Then add the salt, garlic, and mushrooms when it's hot. Cook this for about 10 minutes while stirring regularly until the liquid has pretty much evaporated. Add the flour, cornstarch, or tapioca flour and stir that in while cooking for about a minute. Now add your stock and fresh thyme. Then turn the heat to medium-low and cook for about 15 minutes until the gravy gets thick. Simmer it for longer if you want it to be thicker, and taste it and adjust for salt and pepper. When the time is up on the oven, be very careful while removing your seitan, and be careful when you unwrap it too. See, it got a bit toasty on one side because I forgot about turning it at the end. Then leave the seitan to cool a bit before slicing. The baked seitan is a little dry on the outside, so you can moisten it a bit by brushing on some vegetable broth or the same glaze that we put on the steamed seitan. The texture is firm, kind of like tofurkey. The steamed seitan is more tender but still firm. The outside is a little sticky and a little lemony from the glaze, and the stuffing inside is more puffed up from the additional steaming moisture. Last but definitely not least, top the seitan with your rich, savory mushroom gravy. And now for the taste test. Oh yes, tender, hearty, delicious. I have to admit, I left the camera rolling while I just stood there and ate this up. Serve this with your favorite Thanksgiving sides or try out one or more of these wonderful plant-based holiday dishes. There's stuffed pumpkin from Sim's Kitchenette, a creamy mushroom soup from Cooking with Plants, roasted roots from the Veggie Nut, quinoa cauliflower mash from Vegetorials, an amazing looking Thanksgiving burger from Unhealthy Vegan, a citrus spice cranberry sauce from York and Spoon, and finally a beautiful gluten-free pumpkin pie from Plant-Based Judy. Don't forget to check out Bite Size Vegan's video on the truth about Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what your favorite holiday dishes are. Let's get some ideas flowing so we can all impress our friends and family with plant-based, cruelty-free goodness this holiday season. Bye for now.